Hello everyone. We will wait for a couple more minutes to start so everyone can join. Super happy to see so many familiar faces at this event. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, hey everyone.
Hi, Anna. So, we're doing a recording of this video. Yeah, the recording is in progress, but Anna will decide at the end of this video if she would like to put it in public or on a only to share with those who've been on the session. So it's on your decision. So you can be open as usual, because I guess it will be not that many people here today, but then you can decide what we can do. By the way, we have more than 100 registrations, but this is like a very middle of the day. I'm not sure if everyone can join, so let's see. I briefly introduce myself and the company and our goals. My name is Julia, the founder of NerdsBay, a company and a community of international talents here in Finland, and those who would like to move to Finland. We organize different events, such as webinars, such as job fairs, and such as this talk today. This is not a webinar. This will be like a very warm talk with Anna, who is part of our community. I'm really happy that you are here, and I'm really happy that we met at one point. And what else should I add? Of course, about our employment and record services. All you know about job search situation here in Finland. Kind of difficult one, and employer of record is our way to support you, to help people to live in Finland and work remotely, because I believe that Finland is the best place to live, but work is very important thing to have for this, happiness in this country. And I invited Anna to be my guest here today, and I will explain why. I met Anna a little bit more than probably 1.5 years or something like that. She contacted me and we had an online discussion, just a very open, friendly talk from my side and from her side. And just a year ago, I've seen your post today, Anna, that you moved to Finland a year ago. And it's unbelievable, because you did such a great connections here already. And this is another thing why I invited you here, because I believe that you can share your experience and, encourage people to go out from their homes and meet new people, make new connections. Anna has a very interesting story. She moved from Russia to UK, then from UK to Austria, and 1 year ago she moved to Finland. This is also my favorite thing, because when I meet my friends from other countries, we are usually discussing how things go in there, what the situations with this daycare, with schools, with shops, with rental. And this is something that I really waiting to talk to you, because yeah, I think that sometimes it's, bringing me back, and I understand that I'm already in a perfect place. Sometimes I'm thinking that, okay, that might be done in another way. So we all can learn from this kind of discussions. And yeah, so Anna, welcome to this talk. And probably you would like to say some intro about yourself.
Oh, yes. Thank you very much for the warm introduction. I'm super excited. I think I've never participated in something like that before. So it's a very new experience for me. So unfortunately, my daughter got sick, so she's staying with me right now, but I hope everything will go smoothly. So a few words about myself. So as Julia mentioned before, so I was in Russia till 2018-ish, 19, beginning of 19. And I graduated from the linguistic field. I used to be a teacher of English and an interpreter. I used to work at a huge reconstruction project in Moscow in for the stadium. And then when we moved to England, of course, I was 6 months pregnant. So I just I didn't know what to expect. So, and a lot of people tried to persuade me not to do this, like, where are you going with such condition? But yeah, probably I was 7 years younger than us. So I just didn't think about this. And yes, so, and my first, I just came to the hospital and just didn't register anywhere, like went and they said, "Oh, darling, what are you doing here? Like, what did you do?" So this is how my journey started. So with the time, I don't know, like, where did you recommend to start with? Because it's like, I think
yeah, I've been just waiting for a short intro from you, and then we can go step by step, because I have 3 questions and we can go through this list, and so no worries. So everyone now already knows that you had this baby experience in England. And I would like you to compare this experience, if that's possible, of course, because your daughter being super young in UK, but did she be at daycare in Austria, or she been not participate in daycare yet? So I would like you probably to start with this. Talk to your experience with the health system, if you have it in Finland, for example, for your kids, and in UK and in Austria.
All right. Yeah, so we lived in England till the age of almost 2 years when of my daughter. So we decided to send her to the daycare because I think it was enough for me. And also it was when the pandemic struck. So it was like more than enough for me to be alone with the kid. And my husband had to work because it was the first experience abroad. Of course, he had to be there no matter what. So, and we decided to arrange a daycare for her. We just one remark. So we lived not in London. We lived in Southampton. So it's a little bit more than 100 kilometers from London. It's the the southwest point of England, with a very beautiful nature and very warm climate. But still, it was a town. It was not a megapolis at all. And so the experience may differ from the Austrian and Finnish one. But still, so first of all, daycare cost us a lot, even in a town. So it's I know that even it was 7 years ago, not 7, 6 years ago. It's still it was a lot. It was around £600 per month for 3 or 4 times per day from 8 till 12. So it wasn't even a full daycare at all.
Oh my goodness. If there is any support, I mean, that maybe you pay and then have some returns.
Nothing. They at least we were not eligible. Like when we just came there, we didn't have that residence permit, and moreover, we had, in order to get the visa, British visa, you have to pay during the process. You have to pay also the NHS, National Health Service costs. If you are applying, for example, for 2-year visa, like my husband's contract, so you have to cover. It used to be £400 per year for every single person. So if you're applying for 2 years, so you pay £800 per person during the application process. And the tricky thing that NHS, how to put it politely, like I heard it's even got worse. So it was nothing, like nothing. You pay for nothing. And the only one thing, which is, of course, it was a big deal, but I have no experience. More experience. It's the labor. So I had my daughter born there, and so they helped me. Thank you so much. But I don't know. So there is nothing to compare to, and no help from the medical point of view, no reimbursement, nothing. Yeah.
Do you plan to have experience in Finland? I did. Very recommended.
Well, in Finland, I already had some experience myself. So it's a very interesting experience. I think I just a collector of interesting stories, because I was sent to treat my tooth in a student hospital, and every single appointment officially lasts 3 hours. I had 4 appointments, so I was in the dental seat for 12 hours just for canal treatment. This was like, for my daughter, it was fine. In my case, it was interesting.
I never heard that somebody being like the student. This is like some special.
I don't know how the life just brings me to this thing. It brings me and places me in such situations. I don't know.
But could you compare also with Austrian daycare? So, and England daycare. How does it look like?
Okay. Yeah, in Austria. So when we moved to Austria, so it was like in Austria, the pandemic situation lasted a little bit longer, so they were like recovering for longer time, and they pushed you to wear masks 1 year longer. So it was maybe just because of this effect, it took some time, but also with the daycares, just in general, it was a challenge. It was a true challenge. I sent out more than 10 requests to different kindergartens, because it's usually they accept the application before, I don't remember exactly what months, but we, of course, because of the relocation, we missed this deadline, and it was crucial in our case. So I waited for 2 months. I was looking for any place. I expanded the area of my search. I was looking for anywhere in Vienna, and yes, after 2 months, they found a place in the university, where my university kindergarten. So it's only for the employees from the university where my husband worked. So it was partially public, partially not. So we paid for it, but we also had financial support. I must say it was higher than here in Finland, and we managed to just cover the expenses, and it was brilliant. I love the kindergarten, really. But on the other hand, there is another interesting thing about Austria, and I can talk about Austria like for hours, because there are pros and cons. But with the kindergarten situation, in Vienna, it's very different, because if you relocate, for example, if you live in another, they call it federal lands, so the different regions of Austria. So it may differ, and kindergartens, like it's a very common practice to open the kindergarten at 8 and close at 12. For example, on Friday, if you are not in Vienna on Friday, our kindergarten closed at 3. And you can do whatever you want. So like if you work, just, I don't know, make it up. And this was a challenging thing, for sure.
That's interesting. So the time schedule of daycare, they basically have 3 hours for kids or something like that?
It's not in Vienna, but in other federal regions, let's say. Yeah. So, and if you want your kids stay longer, you have to pay extra, like for extra hours, but still, so they can extend till 3 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the traffic jam is at 3 or 4 p.m. in Vienna, so because everyone is rushing back home.
Mm-hmm. That's interesting system. I don't know how many moms and with kids are watching us now, but let's go to another topic. So we talk about daycare a little bit, go through services in medicine. Do you have an experience with medicine in Austria?
Yes, I loved it. It's way better than in England. Okay, it's way better in Finland. I had one small surgery done in Austria. It was absolutely for free. I treated my teeth there. Of course, like everywhere in Europe, I believe they insist on in putting, if you want a free, so they put you something black stuff there, or I don't know, not white one, but still, I mean, if you treat the cavity or something. So yes, but still, it was for free. I loved it. If you want to if you want to go to the private, you can easily go. And if you got your insurance, you can pay. For example, I decided to pay for my daughter by this insurance stuff for 30 euros, no, 30 euro per month. But then we were very flexible. We could meet any doctor, and we could visit, make appointments with private or not private ones.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Cool, good to know. And how about grocery shops? How about this general life? How it's happening there and here?
I loved the grocery things in England. I loved it very much because I think you feel the vibe of it was a French cheese stuff, and also Scottish salmon or prawns. So it was like the vibe. You felt that you were living in on an island. So at least in my case, I felt it. Even though it was kind of isolated. So, but it's another topic to discuss. And in Austria, it was amazing because a lot of I'm sorry if someone is not drinking alcohol, but like you are surrounded by wonderful wine, and while all this also juice and fresh stuff, a lot of bakeries. So, and after pandemic, different coffee shops and bakeries started to appear. So yes, it was good. It was good, but as I said, pros and cons everywhere. So we're like right now we're discussing only positive things. So it is amazing. Yeah. Finland, I love that it's more. I love salmon, so I can easily find salmon everywhere. I love this fish stuff, and so it's a little bit more expensive, I must say. So yes, the products in Austria, they're cheaper. The public transport is cheaper, and it's way better than, I believe, way better and cleaner than in Finland. But still, so advantages and disadvantages are everywhere.
Yeah. So next, my question is about housing. Is it difficult to find an apartments in Southampton, or London or Vienna or in Finland? What do you think about apartments, costs, those things?
Well, when we were moving to Southampton, we didn't live in London, so I cannot say anything about that. In Southampton, it costs cannot say for sure. and it was 7 years ago, so it's like not
Yeah.
relevant now. But we were living in a very beautiful household from the Victorian epoch. So it's and the wife was wonderful, and but my husband found this place, and I cannot say that it was like a real challenge back to that time. No prejudice like right now, of course, when the war started with Ukraine. So it's like right now, other challenges appeared. In Austria, it was a hell way worse. First of all, like right now, we're approaching to disadvantages. So, disadvantages of living in Austria is like if you don't speak German, so you will hardly survive. Only if you are living in a bubble, so okay, but bubble will be very small. And of course, when we moved to Austria, we didn't speak German, even though Vienna is an international city, but it takes the first place in many years in a row for the most non-welcoming and unfriendly city for expatriates.
Oh,
So,
really? Never
yeah,
heard about that, but
yes, there are a lot of discussions. It was nominated many years ago, like the most comfortable city next to Melbourne for living, but also the most unfriendly. So, and you feel it, you definitely feel it. And when we went there, so we didn't speak German. I sent out my applications, like requests for apartments, and no one replied me in English. I started to send in German. They saw my surname, and it's Slavic sound. It doesn't matter even if like Russian or Russian. So it doesn't sound German. And it was also like a challenge for us. And back to that time, it was almost impossible to find a household, an apartment without a broker, an agent, and you had to pay the agent almost we paid him like 2,000, I think, euro, and it was just obligatory. You cannot do it without it. Yes, and here in Finland, we were lucky. It was very challenging for us because we were looking for an apartment in the center of Helsinki, and it's always difficult. And we had to compete with the locals, with the Finnish people. But our tenant, our landlord, she's a very sweet old lady without any prejudice. So she was very, we were very happy, and she was very friendly. So we found it.
okay. How long did it take to find an apartment in the center of Helsinki?
Oh, I started searching. I think more than 2 months,
Mm-hmm.
maybe more.
Mm-hmm. But just in general, I live in Espoo, and that was super easy to find an apartment here. Like apply, and there is a lot of vacant. But yeah, I understand you, because after Vienna, you probably would like to live in all these fancy old buildings.
Oh, don't tell me about that. And also, sorry, I wanted to mention, I think it's kind of important if someone is thinking about relocating to Austria, that this is like the most important thing. In Austria, you have to apply to any apartment like 1 month in advance or 2 months in advance. It's very essential. So if you start searching for something, you have to do it like very time before. So it's a lot of time for that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So if you will compare expenses for every country, like cost of living, I would say, what, on your opinion, what is the difference? What in which country you can save more? I would say like that, because after all expenses, after all taxations, then you have something to keep, and I think that's the best way to measure.
It's a very interesting question, because I think it's kind of difficult to compare all these countries. In England, since we were living at Southampton, I think it's not very representative data. Just I must say that me personally, like a person who from time to time goes out to dine somewhere, not very often, but like, you know, 1-2 times per month, maybe. So it was very strange not to have any places to go to, because the food is very specific. It's very so we didn't pay. We didn't waste our money, let's say, for the food there. We only bought in groceries, the produce in groceries, and it was enough for us. But it was not cheap to travel, to commute to London, for example, or for example, renting a car or pay for fuel, or also when we were traveling around England, so it cost us quite a lot. But still, you can manage to save your money if, for example, there are some free museums like everywhere. Or for example, in London, there are a lot of museums with a free entrance. The National British Museum, for example. So it just depends. In Austria, I think it's easy to travel around Europe in general, but the prices increased so much. So you think twice. Should you go there? For example, in Austria, we didn't have a car, and we traveled much. We didn't travel much in Austria because we couldn't afford it. We couldn't afford to go to the Alps because it would cost us like 200 euros per night just to sleep in a relevantly okay hotel. And so I know that the prices increased right now in Austria, also for public transport, so tremendously. And but still, I think you can save some money in Austria. I still believe, yeah. And the salaries, as far as I know, a little bit higher than in Finland in general.
Okay. Thank you for sharing that. And I have a question in the chat from Kadria, and I would like to, with this question, step away from these talks about comparing countries and discuss how you prepare for relocation, because you already have made quite a lot of them. Do you have a checklist? Do you have an Excel? What do you do? What is the process in your mind? Oh, yeah. She will manage, I believe. Waiting for a little bit, yeah.
Sorry. I think.
Take your time. Take your time.
Yeah, sorry. Sometimes it happens when you talk much. So preparation. In England, it was moving from England to Austria. It was an interesting experience because we had a British visa, so we couldn't relocate directly to Austria. So we had to go back from Austria to Moscow, and from Moscow apply for a Schengen visa. So we had to sell out all the stuff that we had. And it was an interesting story, by the way, because it was right in the pandemic and no one checked the baggage. So we traveled back to Moscow with 200 kilograms. and no one checked this. So what I learned that you have to travel as light as possible from any country. So we are preparing. For example, moving from Austria to Finland, I was searching for the kindergarten in advance. It was a big deal for me because my daughter speaks fluently German, and we wanted to find something relevant for her. So if we're like talking about the preparation as well, so first of all, yes, to sell out the things. And in Austria, I'm jumping from country to country, I'm sorry, but in Finland it was way easier. I think it was the smoothest relocation from Austria to Finland because our expenses were partially covered by Aalto University, where my husband is working. So we had a like relocation package, so we traveled easily, but we couldn't afford to take all the stuff together because Austria, like no one offered. There was no at the market any offer just to move from Austria to Finland. They usually hang up the phone. They said like, Finland? No, it's quite far. So no, we do not doing this. So yes, but if you're preparing, of course, for relocating, I was searching, of course, I was researching the job market, of course, like, and that is why we met. That is how we met, actually. So yeah, I was searching, I was exploring the job market. I found out about North Bay, and I reached out to you. So, and it helped me to learn a lot before relocation. In Austria, I didn't do this, and I struggled. It's not about from the job market point of view, but like general things. It's good to go to join probably some communities in advance. It's very important. I know Facebook is kind of old-fashioned thing right now, but still, in Austria, for example, it was not toxic at all. And because I know sometimes from country to country, you can find very interesting conversations there. But in Austria, I found so much essential information there. I learned from there a lot, and try to connect in advance with people who live there. It's also can help.
Mm-hmm. So the main advice is to start, moving in advance. So not at the day when you move, but before. So you make research of job market situation. You made the research of daycares. You made a research of relocation services, and understand that you need to sell it out and buy new stuff here.
Yes, it's true, and don't be attached to the place where you live, to the things that you have. It's just take it easy, and yes, and try. If you just think twice, do you really need it? Do you really need, or maybe are you really feeling that you're losing this? If you don't take it with you, for example, or not doing something anymore. So because you will never know what can happen in another country and what can it bring to you. So maybe activities as well. So it's just, yeah.
I have a question regarding that. Do you plan to move to some other country after Finland? Do you have something in your plans? As I understand, there is super depends on your husband's work situation. But what is in your mind? Do you want to move somewhere in countries which you already know, or a new country, maybe?
What I learned with the time, so there is no perfect country at all. Like, it doesn't exist. I love Australia, for example. I've been there, But I know there are also a lot of disadvantages, no matter how beautiful the country is. And it's English speaking, so it's easier from some point, but still. And so there is no perfect country. And sometimes it's easier to deal with the problems, but you're already like familiar with. When you are a little bit integrated, and especially after traveling so much, I think I'm a little bit exhausted already, relocating again. But I definitely know, and it's a manifesting thing in my mind. So when I get old, I will open the window that looks out to one Italian street, and I will drink cappuccino there, and everyone will say like "Ciao, Anna." So yes, this is what I see when I retired, but not for now. Now we have to work hard, and yes, take the most of it.
Mm-hmm. So, as I understand, so far you see yourself and your family in Finland.
Yes, of course. My daughter goes to school this year. We're super excited. She's going to German school. So she's having an exam for this entrance exam as well in 2 days. So hopefully she will make it. And yes, the integration already started. I've been actively learning Finnish, so it's real for me. Yeah.
Does your daughter speak Finnish?
No. I organize lessons for her, private classes, and she hears something in the playground and also in her kindergarten, because when they are allowed to speak Finnish, some kids, of course, they're Finnish, so on the outside, on the playground. So she hears from time to time, but of course not yet.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so and there is a German-speaking school where she can go.
Yes, exactly.
That's so cool that there is so many opportunities for kids with different languages to go to school with. Okay. Next, my question was about your integration in different countries. So I know that in Finland we have quite nice system with this spouse program, with this integrational courses, which every newcomer can have. But can you share your experience in other countries and how it's looked like there?
In England, well, as you know, so I didn't have much experience, and also it was during the pandemic time. People preferred to hide in the households, but I know that also it was possible, not on the scale like in London, for example, but it was possible to join some communities, to join the classes, especially if you're pregnant, to meet up with other pregnant ladies. So it was possible, but I missed not, let's say, deadlines, but that proper time. So I moved to also just right before the labor almost. So it was like not relevant for me. In Austria, as I said, it's the language was like the main barrier, and they arranged something in Austria, but most of it is in German. So nothing. It doesn't stand even close to to what I experienced in Finland. In Austria, I felt very isolated. I was actively learning German, and I reached B1, B2 level there, but it was not enough, because when you start speaking German, most of them like roll their eyes and annoyed with your language. It's very quite intense from that. From this point of view, and also, even they arrange the meetings and they say it's in English, they then move to German. So it's not a. No, I would say it's nothing like that. And integration, so they don't, for example, nothing. Like I would say nothing. There is also kind of a TU office there. It's called IMS, Arbeitsmarkt something, working support. But the funny thing that if you go there, you're supposed to speak German. And when I came there, just to register myself for the German course, it's also for free, integration course, I said in English, "Hi, I'm here just to register for A1 level." They said, "Sprichst du Deutsch?" I said, like, "I don't speak German, that is why I'm here." But they say, "We cannot talk to you in English." I said, "What the heck?" Like, how I'm supposed to register myself if you... And then the guy said, like, very quietly, "I'm not allowed to talk to you in English, but just in case you have to do something like that."
Wow.
Oh my God. And every single time when I went there, and I went there quite often because after every course you are supposed to go there, you have to bring an interpreter because they are officially, it's not officially allowed to talk to you in English. And only when I reached the B1 level, I managed somehow to talk without an interpreter. But it was difficult to find a person who's ready. They give you a random appointment in the afternoon. And where can you find the person who's ready to go with you for free, for example, just for a 10-minute conversation? So it was, my friends helped me, but it was challenging.
But
So
the interpreter can be anyone who knows
anyone.
language. So it shouldn't be like a somehow registered official interpreter.
No. Just
Okay.
and also they understand English, but they pretend not.
Muhammad asking if you can compare those countries in terms of getting citizenship. Which country is the best in long term with respect to citizenship?
Me and my husband, we're still kind of reflecting on this. What if we had stayed longer? Well, we would have been eligible already to apply for the citizenship. But the thing is, and it's very essential, that first of all, if you're applying for the citizenship, you have to deny from your own citizenship. So you have it's only, so you have to take only Austrian. They don't allow you to have two citizenship at the same time. And for many people, it's very important. And for me, it was also important because I still want to see my family and I don't want it to complicate it so much just to go back to Russia from time to time. But also, it's quite a long journey. It takes you up to so you're eligible, at least it was 2 years ago. And so you're eligible to apply for the permanent residence permit only after 5 years. And after 10 years, you're eligible to apply for the citizenship. You can accelerate this program, speed up. If you were only under, if you're only, for example, make an impact to Austrian society or special case, for example, you are a scientist or something. So this was our actually case. So we were eligible to apply for after 6 years. But still, I heard many stories how long people waiting for this. So under consideration, it can take ages. I don't know, at least 2 years. So it's a long, and yes, of course. And you are supposed to speak B2. But it's an easy language. It's not a Finnish.
So now you can compare languages as well.
I was such a fool that I was complaining back to that time. Now I want to go back to the past and say, what's wrong with you?
Okay, so actually, I go through all my questions that I plan to ask. Thank you so much, Anna. Probably not all. One important question that I would like you to elaborate on is your tips and tricks on networking, because as I see, you're just great on it. Can you please help us to understand what are you doing? I understand that for you it may be so natural, so you're doing that maybe because you're just, been born like that. Because
Yeah.
I have a friend who is just a super connector in many cases. But for many of us, it's still trouble to go somewhere. You're afraid of new people. You're sitting in a corner. What you will recommend us?
Um, well, I think one of the, thank you, first of all, thank you for these compliments. I think it happened just because I was super hungry for communication. When I moved from Austria, I was isolated. And when I started searching, immediately, when just after 1 week, I started searching for any events. And I was so surprised how many there are, and for free, and even some snacks are provided and drinks. So like, oh my God, it's a kind of posh. And I, I, I don't know. So I started, first of all, I know that I've already wasted so much time being isolated and trying to achieve something, and so I felt that I cannot afford waiting more. So for more, I need to act. I need to maybe, even for me, there is a comfort zone. Sometimes I cannot attend like 4 events in a row. So first, for me, it became very essential to be grateful for every single event. Where sometimes sometimes from time to time, when you go visit something, you think it was useless. I didn't, I don't know, so like it was a waste of time, and maybe some like basic conversations with people, but in fact it is not. You have to think and reflect and think over and be grateful for your time just to be invested in this, and think what maybe some thoughts you shared with exchange with the person, or maybe you heard some I don't know, about you learn about someone's background. So it's and then later with the time, it's like a puzzle matches. So you heard this from someone, you heard that from another place, and then you have a picture maybe how you can move on, maybe where to go next or who to ask about this. But it cannot be seen immediately. So this is like, yeah, my advice. Don't regret.
That's very interesting, and absolutely agree with you. When you're, having pieces of information and then making your picture with all of that, trying to navigate. And as I have seen from your LinkedIn profile that you joined the, how it's called, wait. The organization which you're Ignite.
Ignite Accelerator
Ignite.
Program. Yes.
Yes. So you actively volunteering for many projects right now, as I see. What volunteering brings to you? What it gives you?
It gives me the feeling that I'm doing something. I cannot stay at home, and it's still. Besides that, it's a good line in my CV anyway. So, and it shows me that I'm involved in the projects. It's also the feeling that I'm really doing something and learning. I keep learning. Sometimes you think like, they don't pay, and I would prefer to stay and learn something. But in fact, you learn from them even more, and also technologies and like, I don't know, tendencies and different. So it's changing so fast, and it's better to, if it's possible, to do it in this way. It's an interesting how I got this role, because first of all, I started to volunteer. I applied to Alto ES in February last year, like immediately when we moved. I searched somewhere that you can become a volunteer. I registered, expressed my interest. So I got the answer back in August. So the guy told me like it was, yeah. So he was sorting out the requests, and he came came back to me only in August, and I started to volunteer, and it was just a basic volunteer, frankly speaking, just helping with arrangements and events. But that time I knew that like, okay, now I'm doing this, but if I'm doing all right, so it can bring me something more. And then the girl from she is a director of this program. She's a student. This is a student-led like nonprofit organization, but she reached out to me and she offered me the role in the core team, and I'm super grateful because I would have never got it if I hadn't done anything, and especially it's. This is a student thing, so I'm not a student at all, and all of them are students. I'm the only one who like 37-year-old ma'am.
They just need we needed someone adult in this team.
No, I think they're so they're so mature and grown ups. I'm just I keep being impressed how smart and clever the students are. It's impressive, and we easily find a common language. So I don't feel there is a huge age gap.
Yeah, I've been participating in one Alta University program, and I've been also so much impressed of the level of experience and knowledges of these guys when we've been preparing our presentation, adult presentation in PPT. They've been doing interactive presentation and playing in by roles and with a perfect language. And I've been saying like, okay, they're so good. And I have now very interesting question in the chat. Idalo, I'm not sure if I'm name the name correctly. I'm not sure if you already covered this, but I'd like to learn more about Finland. I'm from Brazil, but I'm an EU citizen. I'd like to know about the cost of living there and what the ideal salary range would be for living in the capital versus more small cities. Can we help Idalo with that?
Well, I'm not a professional to tell about that. I can only tell a little bit based on my own experience, and it's not a big experience because it's just 1 year living in Finland. But I can say that so yes, so the cost of living, of course, is less in other cities comparing to the capital, Helsinki. Also, apartments cost way more in Helsinki comparing to other regions.
We can, I think that we can probably go with some numbers. For example, 1-bedroom apartment with 1 living room. I don't know if you are moving with family or just you. It might cost around 1,000 euro in Helsinki, and it might cost you around 500 or 700 somewhere in the smaller cities.
Well, when I say it's not representative data from my side, because we were searching for particular kind of apartment after Vienna. It was very stressful for us to move to low ceilings apartment, blah blah blah. I know that's
low ceilings. I would say that when I met Anna, we've been having this dialogue on Zoom, and she had like a ceiling like maybe 4 meters or something like that. So we here in Finland have a normal ceilings.
It's yes, you can dance waltz there. Yeah. So yeah, so yes, it's not all, but Vienna is especially the central part. So it's called Altbau, so the old part of Vienna. Yes, it's mainly like this. And but we found, we actually found in Katayanoka, kitchen is quite high ceiling. So we're there is like nothing to hide about. We're paying by 1,500 for two-room apartment. It's an old building without elevator, only stairs. I'm suffering from the cold penetrating from the windows because the windows are quite old. So I'm trying to, to tape all of them like I used to do in Russia. It's crazy. So yes, it's kind of expensive in our case. But we knew what we were like.
Because, for example, we live in a super new building in Espoo. It's cheaper, and we have 3-room apartment, and it's cost 1,300, I guess. And we have new windows, we have elevator, we have a lot of additional facilities such as laundry, such as storage, basic bicycle storage, and many other facilities in our house, including grill. Yeah, so that depends on what you're looking for. And Anna, after Vienna, had very special picture in her mind. But I understand why you do so, and I totally understand why you do that, because you're like that kind of person. I don't know if we answered your question or not. Give us some message if you would like to learn more. Guys, we have a couple more minutes. If you would like to ask a question, let's discuss.
Thank you so much for your kind comments. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, I hope that you can read them.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, it was a pleasure to have this talk with you, Anna. Thank you very much for everyone for listening. And I do really love this kind of discussion and talks because it opens, our eyes to Finland from different sides of different other countries, advantages and disadvantages that they have, and you can, decide by your own where you would like to live.
Yeah, absolutely. Just less regret.
Yes, thank you. Yelena saying that she will see you at Code Bar.
Yes, next week.
Okay.
Thank you, guys. Yes.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Bye.